What goes on, guys? We're back here again with yet another review, and today I'm actually in shock that this is sitting in front of me. Parts of me were beginning to think that it was never going to come, but today we are going to be taking a look at the brand new Ramen Toys, the Ramen Racer. Now, for those who don't know, this is I don't want to say they're a third-party company. I guess they are, but they've been making like a lot of stuff for kind of a long time. And with the fail of the HasLab Ghostrider figure car set, I guess, this company stood up and said, we're going to make our own for cheaper. And that's exactly what they did. So I believe if you got the early bird special, I think I paid with shipping and everything around $200. I could be wrong about that because, again, it was so long ago, but nothing on the bottom. But, you know, it was a long time ago, and then it's the same image on the back, and then this side just has this Ramen Racer logo, but it was a long time ago, and they wanted to make it cheaper for everybody to get this figure. And I did want the figure. If I did put in a backing for the Hasbro version, but, you know, obviously it didn't get, like, complete and built, and that's totally fine. So we have this, and I'm extremely excited for it. So I am going to walk you guys through the packaging on this because there's a lot to go over. So it comes in a big shipper, like double box with like those like plastic corner protectors on there. Somehow mine still got dented. I mean, I don't personally really care, but like, it's like, why are you going to go through all that trouble just for it to still be messed up? So I'm going to take out the styrofoam that's in here and show you how the layers of the packaging work on here. So first thing you're going to do once you get out of the box is right on these bands, there are like these Velcro straps. I guess I should have left them on there for you guys, but took them off. Like they're like really nice quality Velcro straps. And then you're going to see this contraption here. Now the top has this, at first I was like worried that all the flame pieces were going to be a separate order, but you can see here this little tab thing, and you're going to pull that out. And then on the top, it has all the accessories for the flame effects. Not all the accessories in general, but for the flame effects. So we're going to leave them in there for now. And it also has the instructions, which I will definitely be taking a look at because I am not good with shit like this. So then you take off the top. I'm going to put the tray down that has all the accessories in there. And then you get the car itself. Looks awesome. We'll get that out of the bag in a second. And then on the bottom you have three sets of tires total. So these are the flamey ones. These are just a different kind of tire, I guess. And they are down in there. So there's a lot of stuff. So definitely take your time and get everything out and do not lose your instructions. So let me get everything out, put some stuff together, and then we'll go over everything you need to know about this figure. So rolling this thing out of the box, I did not expect I was going to like this as much as I do. This thing is insane. Pretty much everything you'd want it to do, it does and more. It's ridiculous the things that this thing can do in all the right ways. Now, I'm going to do my best to film this. This is a very awkward shape. I don't have a big station, but I'm going to do my best to try and, you know, get this all working out. What the heck? That just popped off. That's all right. It goes right back in. I'm going to do my best to get this together. Now, also, another prerequisite to this, I am an animal person. I am not a car person. So I can tell you all different fossil things, prehistoric things, animal behavior, animal anatomy. I'm an animal person. But car stuff, I'm going to do my best to say what I know about cars, which is a very small amount. So bear with me on that. So I want to start this video. There's a lot of interchangeable parts with this, and I'm going to show you guys what the instructions taught me and how I've learned how to do it, because there's a lot that goes on here. So taking a look at the car itself, I mean, just look at that beautiful matte satin finish. Oh, so high quality. It looks fantastic. The chrome on the tires looks great. The gas cap looks great. You get to see the back here. The trunk looks amazing. The trunk does open. We'll talk about that a little bit more later on. The windows, they're not actual glass, but they look great. This exhaust pipe keeps coming off. Don't know why though. I don't think it's supposed to. Whatever, deal with that later. Get the other side here. Looks fantastic. Again, there's so much detail on this thing. And I mean, again, I don't know much about cars. I know this has the Hellcharger, and it looks great. I think one thing I want to take a quick look at here, the windshield wipers do not move, but you get to see some nice sculpting detail. The paint is very crisp and clean. The doors, of course, do open. There are back seats, which is hilarious to me. You can move up the seats using these little notches here, or you could just move it with your finger. I don't think that's that big of an issue. You get to see all the detail with like the door handle, the mirror, which if I angle it right, you may be able to see me. I don't know. It is a real mirror. You get the window there, and then the seats, the head and like the back of the seat does hinge a tad, so you can get some figures in the back seat if you want, and then this moves back as well. This is kind of a softer plastic, like very ever so slightly softer to kind of mimic that leather, which is really nice. And then we'll flip it over to the other side here. Looks great. I got a paint imperfection here that I'm just noticing now. I don't really care. Like, it's not something that I'm gonna be like complaining about, because I literally just noticed it now. It's kind of odd, but you get to see the steering wheel in here. The steering wheel does turn. You get to see the brake pedals, the gas pedal. Looks fantastic. All the dials and like, you know, dashboard stuff is on there, and then the gear shift does hinge back and forth just a little bit. I would go easy on that, but it does move, so it looks great. I like that on the like floor mats. It says Ramen Racer. That's pretty cool. I think that looks awesome. I mean, the car itself is beautiful. The undercarriage looks great. Again, I don't know what any of these parts are, but you get to see all of that. Looks good. Nothing wrong with that. I really like all that detail in there. I don't really care that it's not painted. And then taking a look at the bumper, the rear bumper, looks good. I'm gonna have to move back a little bit. Looks good. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. And then the front, this thing's heavy. That looks amazing. Looks amazing. These like headlight covers, I guess. I don't really know if there's a technical term for it. They open and close, which is really cool. And then finally, let's take a look under the hood. Only the real ones know what that's from, but it's really nothing in there right now, and we'll explain why that is in a minute. But the hinge is really nice and closes up very good. So this pretty much does everything you'd want a car to do. I mean, check this out. It even has like suspension that can be tilted back, and oh man, obviously it drives. The steering wheel may move, but it doesn't turn the tires, but the tires do turn on the axle, so that is pretty damn cool. So I guess we'll start with the easier stuff and then work our way to the more complicated things. Let's go ahead and start changing out parts of the bumpers. So the first thing I want to go over is look at the tailgate here. So it's very easy to change out. You can take it out here, and then you have this interchangeable one. You can get it in. You have to get it at like the exact right angle, and I would definitely be careful with where you're pushing, like only push on the black parts. But then once you get it in, it does look really good. Personally, I think I like the one that it comes with a little bit more. I like the longer lights on there. I think that looks cool, and that just plugs right in. That looks good. The undercarriage looks good here. Nothing wrong with that. Now the hood is a little bit more complicated. So the hood, you can pull that up, and then these pieces this piece doesn't come out, but you can add like attachments to it, and like covers to it, which is pretty cool. So first thing is you can put, it's kind of complicated. So this just magnetizes on top of there, and these pieces pop out. So if you want to pop out like the covers to the lights, you can pop that on, and I guess it just adds like I guess it's like another car feature. I personally don't think it's necessary. I'm not going to be using that, so that's not something I'm interested in. And then they say that this just clips on. The little groove goes on the bottom. I guess this is what they mean, but I'm not huge on that neither. I think it looks okay. I don't know if it's just like a bumper attachment. It looks all right. But what I do like are these little like hook things. So you get 2 of these that are painted very nicely or wrapped in chrome. And there's these little notches under here that you can attach these to. So the first one plugs in there. And the second one plugs right here. Now that I do like. So I will be leaving them on. I think that looks awesome. This is enough for me. The bumper and the front, they can stay like this. I think that this is perfectly fine. I really enjoy all the interchangeable pieces here. Now there's a couple different things you can do with the hoods here. So the first standard one is just like the flat one. That is pretty cool. It's pretty nice. You can untab this by pushing gently about like right here. And it just like clips on, grooves on. So you can take that off. That's the first one, the one that it comes with. The second option is this hood with like another exhaust piece here, which is pretty cool. Again, that just is going to clip on here. And you can close that. So if that's your preference for what you want the car to look like, you have that option. You can take that off. And then you get the one with the hole in the top of it, which is pretty cool. We'll see why that is in a second. So that, again, clips on. And this is pretty easy to interchange. There's suspension in the front, too, which is awesome. So that clips on there. You get the hole in there. That is obviously for the engine. So the engine will come in here. Like, it will be in here. And that just, I don't think it, like, clips. Like, it's there's a groove in there that you have to, like, push it into. There you go. And it'll stay like that. Then you get 2, like, exterior engine parts, I guess. So for the exhaust, so you get the standard one, which is like this, chromed. Love the red paint there. Looks fantastic. And then you get the Fire Hell one. And that looks awesome. So how these work, and they both work the same way, there's magnets on top. So then you get like this big old engine. And it also comes with this belt. And so what you have to do with the belt is wrap it around the 3 most exterior pistons or points, I guess. I don't really, again, my car terminology is not up to snuff. But you get that in there. It kind of pushes this engine forward a little bit. I'm not a big fan of that. I wish this clipped in and just wasn't a magnet because there's so much tension on these other, like from the belt. So that is a minor gripe that I have with this thing. But it's supposed to look like that, or relatively like that. And then you go ahead and plug this back in there, and this should shut. Yep. And then that'll shut, and that looks awesome. So that looks really, really good. Now, if you're like me, and you want this to be all Ghostridered out, you take this off, hold on to the belt, swap this out, so you get the Fire one. I don't think it's a great system. I think it should have just been interchangeable parts rather than actual belt. But I can also appreciate the different material usage here, like different mediums. Plug that in. And then, come on. You get that. Okay? And that is awesome. So you get that exterior engine there. And the final piece of the hood is going to be this fiery piece here. Now, unfortunately, I'm stupid and do not have these kind of batteries right now. So go check my Instagram for when I take pictures of this on fire and lit up. Some parts I'll be able to light up in this video, but for all the wheels and this part, I'm not able to light it up. And that's on me. So this piece is going to go on here as well. You can technically put it on this one, and I'll probably show it on this one how to do it because they do it the exact same way. There's this little lip here. You're going to push that up on the front there, and then these 2 little notches here and that little connector piece are going to plug in right there. And you can see all of that together. Now, what I will say is I don't think it was sculpted properly because the button is too far out. So it pushes it out, which is really frustrating. So My suggestion is to make sure it's plugged in the back, because if you try to push it forward, like the button is it's just too far up for the butt. Like the button is too far out to hold it flush, and it really pisses me off. I do not like that. So once you get it on good enough, you're not going to be able to really tell that there's an issue. I just wish that they thought that through a little bit more. Like, it will hold relatively, but I mean, like, putting it on here, like, it doesn't look bad at all, but under further inspection from certain angles, like, that doesn't look good to me. You can see on there, like, there's a big gap. It's supposed to be like this, but then it falls right off. So, and it's all because the button goes out too far. So if you're crafty and you do this at your own risk, you could probably trim that button down, because you could still just like move it in there with like a tool. So I'm not really worried about that. Trim that button down and see if it becomes more flush. But also just like even like the shape of this angle's like bevels out. So I don't know why they did it like that. I'm not a huge fan of that, but it is something that's there. Now for trunk functions, you open this up, and this acts as a battery compartment. So you get this little like case thing, looks cool, no paint or anything. And this, I believe, I thought this acted as a battery pack, but yeah, you have to get like a very specific battery. And I don't really want to do that, so I'll show you the other way to do it, which isn't ideal. I do eventually, or I would eventually like to get one, because this just pops out. You're supposed to get the battery, put it, like plug this, thread this through here, I mean, and then put this back on, and then plug the battery in there. But it's like a specific battery. I don't know, not really something I want to do, but I also kind of do as well. So I'm going to leave that in there. That shuts. And then you get this piece over here. The gas cap will come off. It's just a friction hold. This will come off. And you get this port here, which is really cool what this does. So if you're like me and you're lazy and or stupid, you can plug this in here. It comes with this wire, by the way. So make sure it's in the right way. Yeah. Plug this wire into the car, it'll click in, and then you take a look under the hood again, undercarriage, and you can flip it to on, and it makes fucking sounds. Oh man, that is awesome. But it also turns on the light. So again, you can do the external battery power and do it like that, or you can do the internal one. But personally, I'm never going to leave the lights on all the time, so I don't think it's worth it right now. But they turn on. They're very bright. It got unplugged. But the front does too. And they're very bright lights. That looks great. That is awesome. So that's pretty much all the features except the tires. So changing out the tires is relatively pretty easy. It works with a lot of magnets. So you're going to get this part here, which, by the way, also does plug in the front here. That's probably where I'll leave that so I don't lose that. Let me get that off. But this also acts to take out the center part of the hubcap. So you can kind of get that out. Sometimes it gets a little stuck. I'd be careful. You take that out, and then you get your screwdriver and screw out here. It's only one screw. The longer ones go in the back because the rear tires are bigger than the front ones. You unscrew it here. Take that out. You're going to see this part here. See this part here, this is going to stay on the car. So this kind of just gets plugged in like in this groove right here. There is a little notch that you have to line up, but that should stay in there. And you can switch out the tires. So you get two other sets of tires. This one I'm not going to bother putting on right now, but it's the same exact process. You'll take the screw, drill it, or screw it in there, and then these are just bigger caps that you don't need that little tool for. They go in there, so if you like those, you can put those on. I also thought about too, like you can, I think, no, I guess not. I was gonna say maybe you could put them on here. I'm not gonna do that because that's gonna take way too long, and I like the ones that are on there better. But what I think the best ones objectively are these ones, and I believe these ones can hold either thing. No, I guess they only hold the larger one. Yeah, looks like they only hold the larger one. Put that on there, and boom, you get the fire tire. So I'm gonna put one on for now, just to show you how it works. So you're gonna want to put this on here. It's not too hard, but a big mistake that I made when trying to get this on is there are two different size tires. So the rear tires are gonna be bigger, and that makes these like just literally not fit. So once you have these fire tires on there, all the flame effects are labeled. So this is BL, so this is back left. This one is back right. I need front left. Front right, of course, I know it's always the last one. So FL, there are these two holes here. You can just plug them on in there. Man, that is pretty badass. So this is supposed to rotate, I think. So upon further inspection, I can see that there's an R on the inside of this cap piece. Make sure that you're putting the right ones on the right ones and the left ones on the left ones. This one also says R. And then I'm trying to look for a left one. Okay, so this is a left one, and we're putting it on the left tire. So I guess that changes the angle of the holes on there. So that is going to become important. So then let's try this again. Take this smaller screw. Again, this is definitely not for the small, like, average collector. Like, this is not for kids. This is a pretty complicated toy, I guess, for lack of better terms. Okay, so I guess now we have it on there. Let's try the angle now. Yeah, that's more like it, and it'll still rotate, and that looks awesome. I can't wait to get all four of them on here, because it looks fantastic. Now, it's the same way to change out these tires, but the thing about the flaming ones is if you don't want the flames on there, but you like the translucent yellowish tire, you can just put those on there too. So there's a lot of options with this, is basically what that boils down to. A lot of options, probably more than you need, but I mean, what you're getting here, it's a lot of value per dollar, and for that I can really appreciate it. And the last thing I want to go over is you do get a Ramen Racer head sculpt, and I forgot that this came with it, and I ordered one on eBay that I painted up, and it doesn't look as good as this, unfortunately, but I just need a body for this. I think I'm going to use the Marvel Legends Chamber, use that body mold, and then just paint like a white line along like the jacket. I don't know, we'll see, but this looks really nice. The jaw is articulated, which the one I bought is not. Head sculpt, the flames look great. I cannot wait to get this on there. I'm very happy that this came with this. Now, of course, the moment of truth is how does it scale with some 6-inch to 7-inch scale figures? And it definitely is a 6-inch scale vehicle. Batman doesn't look like he'd fit in there very well. Peely's a little bit taller, but he is a 6-inch scale figure, but he's got that weird head. Kong is not getting in this car, but true 1/12 6-inch scale figures, they're looking good in there. They're looking real good. I have Zombie Cap, out the window, and of course Darwin is the only one that I would trust out of this squad to be able to actually drive this vehicle responsibly, and for that's awesome. So can't wait to get my Ramen Racer together, because this just looks fantastic. So obviously this is not going to fit on the rotating base, but it is that time of the video where I know some of you out there are wondering, yo Ant, what are your final thoughts on this figure / toy model? I don't really know what to classify this as, but I gotta say, whatever it is pretty damn awesome. I am very happy with my purchase, and I think it's going to look great on a Marvel Legends shelf, because obviously we're never getting this from Hasbro, and when Hasbro did do it, it was twice as much and came with a lot of less stuff. So I'm very, very happy with this. I'm happy that I hopped on the early bird. My biggest issue now is storing the parts. I don't really know where I'm going to be able to store these right now. Even the car itself is going to be a monster to store. But, you know, it's pretty awesome. I cannot wait to get my Ghostrider, my Danny Ketch Ghostrider, and my Johnny Blaze together on my Marvel Legends shelf. That is the goal. That's the goal. So, with that being said, at a price of like $200, $220 around there, I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. It's got slight things that I would change. I think it is really complicated, but I can't blame the figure for that. It is a complicated item. I mean, it is for the adult collectors. My biggest nitpick is I really don't like the way that the fire attaches to the engine. That really annoys me. It looks good when it's on there, but like if you look at it the wrong way, it's going to fall off. So the way you see it right now is the way that I'm going to be displaying it on my Marvel Legends shelf, and I'm very excited for the day that I can get all of my Ghostriders together. So with that being said, I believe that's all I got for today. If you've not already, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also be sure to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Letterboxd. I post a lot on all of those apps, and I have a great time, so I'm sure you will too. But as always, let me know. Did you cop? Because I guess this is, you know, not something that anyone can get anymore, but if you're looking for it on the second market, or you needed help with it, that's what this video is for. But anyway, guys, see you in the next one. Peace.
What goes on, guys? I wanted to hop on here again and thank you all for watching, and to let you know that if the following apps interest you, feel free to follow me on them, as I put the links in the description for you guys. I really appreciate everything you all do for me, so DM me with any questions or thoughts. I'd love to sit and talk with you all. Again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.